Hello, and welcome to the Furry Cartooning for Amateurs Summer 2026 Session 1 recap video. Today, we did a bunch of activities in class. This is for people who missed the class or for people who want to follow along. I'll be doing recap videos every night after class. Again, so if you want to do the exercises, you'll need the following materials. I have here a Tombow Funosuke pen. I want to do the makeup thing. This camera doesn't do that. Tombow Funosuke pen or the Flare pen. Printer paper, 8.5 by 11. You're gonna need note cards. 4 by 6 note cards. And your composition notebook. Which you don't have to put furry stickers on it, but I did. Okay, so those are the supplies you're going to need, and let me talk a little bit about what we did tonight. We basically did a bunch of different drawing exercises. I'm going to go over the rules. So when we do the drawing exercises, a lot of them are timed, so have a timer too, and you'll just have to pause the video and time yourself. Okay, so the first thing we did, we started by drawing. We started drawing with our eyes closed to get our hands moving right away. So go ahead and grab your note cards and grab a pen, and I'm going to show you just basically examples of what we did. Adjust here. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to set your timer for 1 minute, close your eyes, and draw a big breakfast with your eyes closed for 1 minute. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video, do that. Okay, and I'll show you an example. Just this, get the capture card. Okay, here we go. That's what I did. And the next prompt is going to be 1 minute, eyes closed, draw a mer person. Mermaid, merman, mer person. With your eyes closed. 1 minute. Go ahead. Okay, example. Here's what I drew. And then the last prompt was either a horse or a protogen. If you don't know what a protogen is, go ahead and look that up online now. And then close your eyes and draw it for a minute. Okay. Great. Here's mine. I think some people combined a horse and progen. Yes. Okay, and then the next thing we did was we kept drawing. Oh, I did kind of like editorialize this. So it's amazing that you'll probably laugh when you look at it. The virtual room erupted with laughter as per usual. It's amazing what you can do with your own hand in drawing, and 1 minute with a piece of paper. That's the magic of cartooning. Boom, we already figured out we've already experienced the magic of cartooning. It's only 5 minutes in the class. Okay, so we did that, and then I showed the Ivan Brunetti style. Actually, and I'll read the selections from Making Comics too, again, just so you have that experience. Because I actually did 2 readings between these activities. Let me pull out Making Comics. First page, so this is Making Comics by Linda Berry. A lot of this class is activities from this, adapted, this book. It's an amazing cookbook of comics activities. And yeah, so the first page I'm going to go to is page 55. Okay, so here's Linda Berry. We tend to laugh as we do this exercise and laugh harder when we open our eyes, surprised by what we see. There is some reliable charm to drawings made this way, and most of us can see it. Sometimes someone will be dismayed by their drawings. They take a little longer than others to make friends with the lines their hand naturally makes, but that friendship will come if they keep drawing. And then something I did say in class was when we're like afraid to draw, consider treating it as if you're entering an amusement park, or you're entering what Linda Berry calls a spook house. Like you're drawing to have an experience. That is a different way of looking at drawing that is not super typical. A lot of times we're trying to achieve something when we draw, but what if your drawing was like entering a spook house? I hope I remember to say that next class. Sometimes the recap people get some really interesting things. And then here's Too Scared to Draw from Making Comics. In the beginning, there wasn't drawing or writing as far as our 4-year-old hand was concerned, but at some point soon after, drawing splits off, and for the most people, it moves first to the margins and then vanishes from the page entirely. It's a ghost for most people, a scary one we avoid rousing. When we must draw, we use a symbol. No ghost can inhabit a stick man. No ghost wants to. Cartoonist Ivan Brunetti identifies a different way of drawing, a simple character that is especially useful for those who need a way to begin. Follow these steps. So, do a circle, the basic shape for a body, and then simple limbs and features, and you embellish, add details, and it's alive! Ah! And this one is murderous. Okay. So, sorry about that. So I did a demo of that. Yay! This is my persona. AKA, this is Gabu Mat. Oh, I just put it back down. Oh no, I did the autofocus and now it's going crazy. So, but in this class, I am Professor Moomin this season. So we did that, and then this is just a demo, so don't pause yet. But what we're going to do is we're going to have you draw an attendance card. I'll just show what it looks like. You don't have to do the Ivan Brunetti style, but I did it. And the prompt, the day's prompt was eating leaves. Draw yourself eating leaves. I chose it randomly from, this is one prompt that I just came up with, which I thought would be funny for furries. In my kind of like furried version of a lot of these games and activities from Linda Berry's Making Comics. I wish I could give Making Comics to every furry, but I can't do that, and so I made a zine where I kind of adapted a bunch of these different things. This is my 3rd edition, and I like throw them at people at cons, and so I chose a random one here, and it was eating leaves. So what you'll do is you'll set up the frame, draw the frame. Inside the frame is where the magic happens. And then put your class name on the top left, the date on the top right. And this is another warm-up activity. And for 3 minutes, don't stop drawing yourself eating leaves. Try to fit your whole body in there and add details until you run out of time. So set a timer. If you choose one activity to do tonight, because you missed class or whatever, this is the activity, the attendance card. Definitely do this one. So 3 minutes and see what is in the image when you draw yourself eating leaves. Oh, and that's my boyfriend concerned. Okay, I don't think I said that in class either. Okay, so now we'll move on to, so go ahead, pause and do that. And then we'll move on to, oh, shit. So I had you pause and do that, but what if you don't have a fursona? Well, I gave people random animals if they want. If you don't have a fursona and you want to draw yourself as an animal, I'm going to give you a random animal from my bag of animals. I just pulled one out. It's gerbil. This maybe will spawn a bunch of gerbil sonas because of the video. Okay, so there you go. Draw yourself as a gerbil. All right. Now we're gonna move on. Oh, and at the end, so this is important too. At the end, we hold them up to each other and have them look at each other. If we're in person, we will literally hold them up, like have them look at each other. We did that on camera, or you could post it in the chat. We've been chatting in the chat on the side too. I love both of those options. Yes, yes. And that brings them to life. And we don't comment about the quality of the work, and we don't say whether or not we like the work. It's none of your business, as Marilyn Frasca said to Linda Berry when she was in college with her, learning about images. It's none of your business whether or not you like it. Okay, I'm talking too quietly. I hope I picked all that up. Okay, but what I will say is good. We can say good to each other. Okay, so now I went over the rules. So we will go over the rules real quick. And I'll just, they're already listed. Let's see here. Go over the rules real quick. So then do this, change it to just the screen. Actually, we'll do the screen and the webcam. Yay. Okay, So here are the rules. This is version 1. I made version 2, and the big change I made to version 2, I crossed out rule number 2. You're allowed to chat as much as you want. I tried this the first time. I really wanted to force people to draw. I don't like the results. Let's just chat. Okay. So, first things first, please use your class name for the whole class. Change your in-person profile to your class name. We don't talk about the quality of work. We don't say whether or not we like the writing or drawing or comic. This includes our own work. Emoji reacts are turned off. This is like so hard. This is hard for me looking at people's work and people sharing today. It was very hard for me not to talk about it. But I will say good. This is, and the second thing I want to say is critique is great and like praise is great and it's useful in lots of different spaces. We're trying to create a kind of weird space where that doesn't happen. And yeah, it's weird and I like it a lot, and I think it's really useful to help us to draw, especially for those of us who gave up drawing a long time ago. Yay. Okay. And then we don't give advice on writing or drawing to our classmates. You can ask me for help, and also like you can talk about your own practice and say like, "Oh, this is what I do," you know. So that's fine. You're encouraged. You're very strongly encouraged, but I can't force you, and I don't want to force you to not post, aka like publish digitally your work publicly outside of the Discord until class is over. Totally okay, and I even recommend like sending it to friends and stuff. But we kind of don't want other people's views of our work to really affect like what we make and how we make it for quite a while, especially like publicly. So like send it to friends. That's fine. I'd say with caution, but I think it has an effect on how I draw, and so that's my recommendation. We don't share other people's work outside of the Discord even after the class is done. No electronic devices during class time. Try to silence notifications. We're really trying to focus on keeping our hand moving and getting into images. Okay, and then if your drawing or contains nudity, sex, or gore, please tag with the spoilers option to blur it, and please include some sort of text with a content warning to label it. Just do your best. I don't know how much I want to say on YouTube. I guess I'll say there's like an adult side that is awesome and I enjoy of furry, and lots of people do. And I'll say I don't. I like being doing icebreaker. I like breaking the ice myself by giving examples. I won't do it in this case because I kind of want to have a specific boundary when it comes to being the teacher and students. So I'm not going to break the ice in this case. But you're welcome to draw that stuff. Just spoiler it. You're not required to have your camera or microphone on at all during class. You're also not required to share any of your work. So do whatever makes you comfortable. And I say it's also nice to see your faces. It helps me read the room, but I'm okay with talking to no faces. Like, it's totally okay. Just do whatever makes you feel the most comfortable. I love turning my camera off when I'm in like Zooms. Please avoid any oppressive or violent behavior. I will do my best to mediate disputes. I will also do my best to implement restorative justice if needed. It's kind of like a catch-all. I will be that's my duty as a teacher and someone who's like regulating the space. Okay, and if you'd like any changes to the rules or want to change or add one, subtract one, whatever, feel free to petition me over the questions and feedback channel, or just DM me. Like this, I can still this last time it was really experimental. This summer or is less experimental. So I'm pretty happy with how the rules are, but I might make a few changes. We added emojis to the chatter channel. That a lot of people wanted that, and I'm like, sure. Okay. So those are the rules. Yes. Faster, faster, I'm ready. And I'll just show you the result of that. So you're going to fold your paper into 6 basically spaces. This isn't really a comic. And then you're going to draw a cat after setting a timer for 1 minute. I do recommend going in with pen just so it really captures your lines. You can set your timer for 1 minute and draw a cat. And we're going to draw the same cat with less and less time, right? So the first one's going to be a minute. And I'll just explain all the times and then you can do it yourself. The first one's going to be a minute. The second one's going to be 45 seconds. The third one's 30. The fourth one's 20. The fifth one is 10. And the last one is 5. Very fast. Screaming. Everyone's screaming, crying. It's fun. So Ivan Brunetti is this cartoonist that Linda Berry loves and who he's done covers of the New Yorker. I feel like that's what I think of him. But lots of comics too. He did this class. He teaches and he does made this book, Philosophy, Cartooning Philosophy in Practice. And Linda Berry borrows from this with permission to publish in her own book, and she uses it in her classroom. So, yeah, so this one is something that he teaches. And Linda Berry calls this Faster, Ivan Brunetti. So go ahead, time that, do that yourself. And yeah, what are the simple things that make something a cat? Would this register as a cat? I don't know. Good stuff, though. It's a great exercise. So now I'm going to do... Oh, and I had people share about their experience. Oh, actually, I don't know if I did a sharing session after this. Afterwards, I did a reading, though. Pages 49 through 51 of Making Comics. I'll pull that out for you. Okay. Not a single drawing or line of my handwriting survived my childhood. I sometimes wonder if that's why I hang on to the drawings my students leave behind. They are so alive to me. They give something in the way a song I love gives me something I can't quite explain. Sometimes I copy them. Sometimes I draw them, sometimes I draw on them, color them, cut them out. Almost all of the pictures in this book are rescued images by students. It's interesting that she says images and not drawings there. I keep their casual drawings and their strange lists. I've had this guy for a year. I can tell who drew this even after 7 years has passed. Once a student asked me why I liked messed up drawings so much. They don't look messed up to me. There is a realness in them that is hard to come by. And a strangeness that can't be faked, found on the comics room floor. 10 seconds cat, 10 seconds cat. My favorite classes are made up of people who are comfortable with drawing, mixed with people who are nervous about it. Like ours. It's me editorializing. The people who think they can't draw do the most original work. Though at first they can't see it, the people who can, quote unquote, draw pick up a lot of new ideas from them. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about me. Why should you trust me? Maybe why you shouldn't trust me to teach this class. And just like background. Oh, hi, Sonic. About who I am. So I'll do a quick version of it here. Oh, screen with webcam. Hold on. There we go. Okay. About me. This is gonna be really fast. Okay. I grew up here. I live here in Northeast Ohio, Cleveland. This is the first place I took a comics class, local library. And I love making comics. They had it at the local library. Oh my god, I became very obsessed with that book. I grew up on webcomics, gay webcomics. I was so excited to find representation there, like 2011, 2015 of like gay guys. I'm a gay guy. Okay. So this is Skeptical, Tripping Over You, Always Raining Here. And then I went to college at this place. I'm not going to say it because I'm afraid of YouTube AI algorithms, whatever. I don't know. It's kind of public. Anyways, look, I'm still on the website. What the heck? I went to college for electrical engineering. I wanted to do English, but I was kind of scared. And then the first 2 semesters went well. I'll stick with engineering. I took this class called Comics and the Graphic Novel. I was very obsessed with indie comics after that. Here are some podcasts I loved listening to, especially Make It, Then Tell Everybody by Dan Barry. No relation. English, really funny British humor, very self-deprecative, and also it just does a lot of like the best cartoonist interview podcast. Oh my god, it's so good and it's back after 4 years of hiatus. So I just started obsessively listening to that podcast and other podcasts. And like, oh my gosh, comics can be indie comics. They can be alternative comics and like graphic novels and stuff like that. I was like, oh, there's this whole other thing that isn't just web comics. And then like the big two. Okay, so Cartoons Crossroads Columbus. I went to that big indie comics festival, and Cake in Chicago, and Small Press Expo on the East Coast. And I was like, whoa, this is so cool. And I'll tell this story too. I went to Small Press Expo and I was like, this was before I was like out as a furry. I was like, man, I just wish there was a festival for like making comics. It was like an arts festival, and we really got into images like Linda Berry, because Small Press Expo was after I ran into Linda Berry's work. And like, but then like we were like characters, and everyone like dressed up as characters, and it was also like image focused. And then like later I like read that note, or like thought about that thought again. I was like, oh my God, I just wanted to go to a furry convention. And so that's part of the reason why I'm just like obsessed with furry. Um, just like as a subculture too, because I'm just like, this is, we have it so freaking good. Like that's my opinion. Okay. So I in like right before the end of college, I tabled at Genghis Con, which is like the local Cleveland Indie Comic Con. And then I ran into Syllabus at the local library, Linda Berry's book, and then Making Comics came out in 2019. And I was just like super Linda Berry pilled at that point. It was like, oh my gosh, this saved drawing for me. I don't have to like make something that sells. I can just draw and like have an experience. Not even have fun, but like there's this a whole avenue of drawing that really opened drawing up to me. And I still made stuff that I really liked, But then I taught comics journaling based on just her diary comics stuff to kids at a local creative writing nonprofit after the pandemic hit. So I was building my teaching chops. And then I got published in a local anthology, Vagabond, 4-page comic, very similar to the comics that web comics I read. And then got published in a local magazine. So there's like some people were like, oh, I would publish these comics. That was a cool thing for me. Um, and then in 2020, I started taking um, lessons, tutoring with this really cool cartoonist, Juan Jose Fernandez, who started a Pittsburgh teaching. I'll start with the Pittsburgh Comic Salon, which is a local group in Pittsburgh that met and made comics. Um, and before that, he went to the Center for Cartoon Studies and studied there. Got his MFA there, I believe, and the so that was awesome. He was also very much interested in Linda Berry, and so that's why I took lessons with him. And so he taught me some stuff, especially from the Center for Cartoon Studies activities. That was very cool. Oh, and I didn't say this in class, but he also studied under Frank Santoro in Cleveland, or sorry, in Pittsburgh. Ugh. And so that also, so like his practices, his like he brought that into circles and X's over the pages. I know someone might know about that, but I saw Shiny Skunk present about making comics at Anthrocon 2 years ago, and he talked about Linda Berry, and then he talked about Frank Santoro. I was like, what the heck? This is so cool. Didn't mention that in class. Okay. Um, uh, yeah, love Pittsburgh, love Juan. And then he taught this class called Comics Making for the Rest of Us, which is about comics making outside of the commercial aspect of it, like people who don't want to become professionals or just aren't professionals right now or whatever. And so this class is also kind of based off of that class too. I don't pull a lot of stuff out of there, but I mean, he's also pulling from Linda Berry there. And I took that class, and the first prompt was like, draw yourself as a dog. And I drew this character, which later turned into uh, Thag. And I was just so envious of the furries who were like openly furry, and I was like, but I don't want to do that, so I'll just make furry characters. I don't know. I had this like block. I was very nervous. So that was back in like 2021. I think he taught that class. Anyways, I worked with Katie Starr. We co-founded this group, Comics in the Circle, which is supposed to be a university circle because we're both alumni of the same college. But then we wanted it to be like a public group and not just for college students at that university. So we made this public group, and it launched like March 1st, 2020. And then we shut it all down because the pandemic shut it all down. And then we started meeting over Discord, and then we started meeting in person. Well, actually, we started meeting in Zoom first. But so here's the local group. Awesome. These pictures are a little bit old. And this is also a little old. And this is two of us tabling at Genghis selling stuff. So we sell stuff too. But a lot of Linda Berry activities and other activities, and we all take turns leading them. So that's that. And I help write the bylaws. I'm like a big DSA head, really interested in the democratic processes and stuff. So we'll do a little bit of. I'm like really proud of like helping write the bylaws and that we have them, and we like now it's more democratic than just like me and Katie running it. So it's lovely. So we'll do some Robert's rules on the democratic process in for the zine. For the zine, it'll be fun. Okay, and then in 2023 I discovered VR chat and decided I need to publicly become a furry and join the furry community and stop missing out on all the fun. So here's my avatar. I created a blue dog, and then I saw this Instagram Shorts video that was like the meme that was like, no, it's a canonical moment, you can't change it. That meme from the Spider-Man movie, and it was like chooses a blue dog as their persona. I was like, shit. I'm reductive or whatever, you know. I love being a blue dog. It's so fun. A blue border collie based on Gabumon. Okay, I don't know. Did I say that in class? No, I didn't. It's not that important. Collaborated with my boyfriend on this furry zine comic. So here's some examples of my work. Here's the zine I showed earlier. Here's a comic I collaborated with Seto Mobius where he wrote it. So here's just examples of my work. Just to show you like I can draw comics in this way, I guess. Okay, and Gabu Cat is my Digivolution. Maybe you'll see Gabu Cat soon. Then I started leading activities within the furry, like local furry scene, and Fur City is the new local organization that is creating a furry convention. But we started with meets, and we're still doing meets. And so here I made all these advertisements. I didn't take this photo here, but for cartooning me, and I just applied a bunch of Linda Berry stuff, and I just YCH Boss last year, and Literal Do stuff I did at Wapafla. And here's the first page of each of these 2-page comics I just want to share. This is the format that we'll be using for the zine, the class zine at the end of the year. And well, you don't have to submit to the zine, but this is the final project. Okay. Great. So that's more about me and why, kind of my background. Okay. Great. So that's about me. Why can I? Oh, introduction to me. Okay, got it. And then we're gonna show you the comp books. Okay, here you go. So here we go. So the composition notebook. We are going to read page 60 of the syllabus to introduce this of syllabus. But what I want to say before I start is the composition notebook is one of the most important aspects of the class. It's a place. I want us to think of it as a place to have an experience. It's not necessarily a sketchbook. It's definitely not a portfolio. I often treat mine like a diary. And one of my problems is I take it too seriously. I make it like too sacred, which I'm trying to change. Trying to just like move your hand on the comp book page. It's kind of tough. Okay, page 60. It's tough to do. Here's what Linda Berry says about your composition notebook. Okay. So she says it's the heart of our class. It's also the liver, the spinal cord, and the cerebral cortex. During the semester, you should take it everywhere and fill it out with things from your day and also your night. What sort of things? Like everything. Daily diary page drawings, notes from our class, notes from other classes, drawings, tracings, things you find and glue or tape into the book. Observations, doodles, lists of all kinds. I put a lot of lists in my comp book. Articles, receipts, photos, ticket stubs, quotes, Dreams. I love using double-sided tape in mine. Things you wish you could say out loud. I like that activity. I highly recommend. Things you regret saying out loud. Art, spirals, man, schedules, the news of the day, weird memories, your daily freak out. I do that a lot. Things people say, sketches, predictions, movies you've seen, autographs, insults, returned homework, vows, rants, raves, comics. So we will be doing an X page first, and then next week we'll start doing multi-panel comics. So I'm going to show you an X page. Oh, I put syllabus away, but the example of the X page is on 132 of syllabus. This is what the X page is going to look like. So you're going to draw a big X, and then you're going to write, well, I'll show you an example from class. So I put a bunch of furry stickers on my comp book, but you don't have to do that. And you might not have furry stickers. That's okay. You put anything on it. You can tape anything. But I've found it's like the perfect landing space for furry stickers. Okay, so here's my example. And then I'm going to explain the whole thing, and then I'm going to have you do it. Okay, so you draw this big X, and then you number, well, then you write seen, did, heard, and then gratitude, question, a question. I added gratitude because I think it's a healthy thing to do. And save the space for drawing. And then you'll have 3 minutes to do each section. Well, no, I'm not going to say that. You can number these or not number these. You can play music while you're doing this or not play music. And the goal here is to get into the images of the past 24 hours. I usually do this at night. You don't have to. And then you're going to set a timer for 3 minutes, or you don't have to set a timer if you don't want to. We set a timer for us just to keep us moving, but you don't have to do that. So 7 things you did, or just as much as you can fill this up. But I like writing out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 because it helps me start. Otherwise, I actually still get overwhelmed. So 7 things you did, set a timer for 3 minutes, do that. And then 7 things you've seen, set a timer, 3 minutes, do that. And then a few things you heard, do a timer for 2 minutes for that. And then 30 seconds, maybe gratitude question. And then choose one of these images, right? And then you're going to draw that in here for 3 minutes. Try to spend the whole 3 minutes, or try to just fill out the whole space. What's interesting about the triangle is it forces you to think about, wait, what's over here? Wait, what's over here? Wait, what's over here? Try to fit your whole body in it, and try to use the Ivan Brunetti method if you're scared, or if you just want to. And it doesn't have to be something that is positive or negative or the best thing or the most interesting thing. It could be something boring. What's most important is you're practicing getting into the image. Okay, and I think I read something here. No, I guess I didn't. Maybe that's later. But yeah, this is the homework. This is the nightly homework. I highly recommend you do this. You practice getting the images, and this is a type of format we'll use to get into images when we draw comics later, so that we start our hands moving and we have stuff to work from. You can also draw comics about stuff like this actual X page. Like all of a sudden you have a bunch of, dare I say, content to pull from when you're drawing later. So that's just that. And then there's an optional thing that I had us do. Oh, I didn't write down the page number. Bonus homework. You don't have to do this homework, but like bonus homework is doing a kind of review frame after that with another image or even the same drawing, the same image you drew before. Let me see if I can find it. So here's an example of that. You're going to basically place this on there. You're going to draw a frame, and for 5 minutes, draw in there in the frame, and then 5 minutes spend yourself writing what is happening in present tense. So her example is I had a pump full. Actually, you can just read this. That's an example, right? Okay. Because you can pause the video. Okay. So like I wanted to also include this as an option because maybe people just want to draw more or whatever. Maybe this isn't enough. So that's a lot of work though. Just doing an X page every day for a week, it's like an insane amount of work. It's very difficult, especially at the end of the day. You're tired. All right. So that's the X page diary. I'm going to now show you the class scene. I really feel like I forgot something. Oh, I did. In the introduction to the comp book, we kind of we sometimes the first page is kind of scary. Let's see if I want to look at. Yeah, that's fine. So what we did is we put our hand down and just like humans have done for thousands and thousands of years, trace our hand. And then we read our name. This is kind of, you do whatever you want, but I wrote my name and the current day and my like fandom furry name. And okay, I won't show this page anymore. But you can add paw prints or your own. If you're like a little tiny kobold, you can draw your own furry hand, your fursona hand, smaller than your actual human hand, whatever. And that's like something I didn't say in class. It's like reaching out and touching your image self, putting your hand. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so that's the introduction to the comp book. Yay! What you're missing out is usually at the end we'll like hit the clap button in the Discord. So there's like a bunch of applause. That's a good way to transition to the next thing. Okay, so now, and we also did some time to share in class, which feel free to share online, especially in the homework section or the classwork section. Okay, now I'm going to show the class scene. So, yay, I have an example of what the optional class scene could look like at the end of the class. This is the winter 2026 one. So it's optional. You don't have to submit. Not everyone submitted this past one, but drawings from the class and any homeworks or anything adjacent is you can submit to the class scene. And so I just want to say the more homework you do, the more options you have to submit. And it doesn't have to be anything like, it doesn't have to be like the big 2-page, 1-page comics. This is awesome. It can be like, just like warm-up drawings and stuff. Like, here's like with the eyes closed, I shared that. So anyways, so what I wanted to say is that's gonna be coming down the pike, and I don't want you to think about it anymore, though. I don't want you to think of whether or not something is publishable, or even if you want to publish it. I really would rather you just know that it's coming and forget about it, because then you just have choices. You really shouldn't think about whether you should or shouldn't publish something. It just really doesn't help you with the drawing process right now. But yeah, okay. All right, and then we looked at furry art for 30 seconds each. Yay. I really love doing this. Okay. So we pulled artwork from the internet, and we're going to look at it for 30 seconds each. You'll have to pause it yourself. And I will just say, so, okay, how do I want to introduce this? 30 seconds each, pause it for 30 seconds and look at it. And we're not trying to make anything happen. And we're not trying to say whether or not, but we're also trying to not say whether or not we like it or whether or not it's good. This is just us having experience with the drawing, and something I advise, and something that Woodbury has said is, imagine you're waiting for your car to be fixed. Imagine you had a car, whatever. You don't have a cell phone, and you're sitting in a waiting room, and this is the only thing on the wall. and you don't have anything else to do, no magazines, no TV, whatever, I think that's a great way of like looking at a piece of art. Anywhere you go, anywhere, just think about like, what if this is the only thing I had to look at, and I'm like bored or whatever. So try to have an experience with it, and look at all the details, and just whatever you're getting from the image, cool. We're gonna do 30 seconds each of these. I won't time it. You'll have to pause it yourself. I'll just go through and say the name of the artist and the year, and maybe the title. Okay, so first one is Ken Sample, 1995. Danaroni, 2024. Characters are owned by Named Wolf and Mute Troop. Jules Zuckerberg. I spelled all of these wrong. 2023. Focus, 2024. Ryukai, 2026. Various artists in Pittsburgh, photo taken 2026. Zen in my kitchen, .bluesky.social, 2026. Ryukai, 2026. Volp Gulp by Gazehound, 2025. Baby Boy Zone, 2026. Beck, I think 2026. Voices, Wolf's Road, 2015. Neil Tiger, 2026. Poodlewool.bluesky.social, 2026. Night Bus by Bear Socks, 2026. Del Shark / Crya City, 2026. Sorry, content warning, blood. I did it again. Dagabe, 2026. End of slideshow. Click to exit. Okay, activate Windows. Go to settings to activate Windows. Gosh dang it, I don't want to. Okay. Okay, and that's it. So this is something that Marilyn Frasca had her like interdisciplinary art class do when Linda Berry was taking her class at Evergreen State College back in the day. Okay, so there you go. Great. So that was all class. Anything else I have to say? I'm gonna put the text directions for the homework in the Discord. Everyone did a great job. The people who are taking the class are not watching this, I don't think. What else? Is there anything else before I forget? Oh, one thing I didn't mention during the rules. I made this announcement that was like, if you want a significant other or friend or person who's living with you to take the class, they're welcome to audit and just sit in the back and like take the class too. But they can't share any of their work because I just want to focus on the students who are actually taking the class and whatnot, and they can't speak up during class because I just want to focus on the students taking the class. I'm going to augment that a little bit and say I really only want that, like, I know of like 1 or 2 cases where like that's the case. It's like, oh, my significant other didn't make it into the class, and I'm like, oh, that really stinks, so they can audit it. But I really want them to, one, I want you to say like, oh, so-and-so is sitting so-and-so is sitting with me, significant other is sitting with me, like say it at first, announce it, so that we know, oh, hey, that's so-and-so. And also, I really like want them to make it to the first or second class and actually be part of the experience if they really want to. This isn't really a class where I want people to just like jump in week 7, or 6. I'm so tired. And just like, I think that'll just be weird for everyone, especially for them. So, hopefully if someone's auditing, whatever, your friend is hanging out, your roommate's hanging out all the time. Also, oh my God, adults only. I said that in the Discord, but I didn't say that again in class. Adults only. Okay, great. Okay, so that's the one thing I announced in class that I want to make sure I also announce in the Discord. If you're following along and you're not in the class, I love when you like message me and say, oh my God, I watched the videos. That is like so freaking cool. And Yeah, it's like it can definitely be a try before you buy type of thing where it's like, oh yeah, I watched the videos and now I want to take the class. You can always take it again. You can also just take the class again and take it at one time. Um, I think that's it. Great. I hope the audio was good. I hope I wasn't coughing too much. Cool. See you next week. Bye bye.